So, molecular nanotech, which I think we can all agree, if that worked out, would provide better tools for pretty much everything we want to do. Apparently, I'm not close enough to the mic. All right. So molecular nanotech provides tools to make pretty much everything we want to do here better, right? So we went through and talked about a variety of institutional and field-building mechanisms, and ultimately nailed down on the focused research organization to build a molecular 3D printer, which is based a lot on this conceptual design Eric Drexler has come up with, which effectively recapitulates what people have done in DNA, where we have built DNA 3D printers, but in protein systems and driven by photoisomerism actuators. Effectively, you can build three-phase stepper motors out of cis-trans isomerization of azobenzene attached to various dyes. That gives you motion control. We have the ability to make effectors that will specifically bind or unbind molecules to precise locations if you can put the molecules in those locations, which is where the 3D printer part comes in. And effectively, with diffusion and self-assembly, you can avoid a lot of the scale-up problems that happen when you're trying to put all the atoms where you want them directly. But in return, you give up a lot of resolution. But you can still do positional chemistry and make useful 3D products. Wow. Okay, so setting aside all of the precise technical stuff, with the 10K, we would be building on a roadmap that I sketched out here. This is a fine-grained tech tree of engineering requirements in order to pursue that kind of capability. With 10K awarded to Convergent Research, they would pull together and hire somebody to fill out and make a more detailed version of this tech tree in order to build a precise research plan in order to actually push an FRO with a $50 million scale funding to build a protein-engineered 3D printer out of a self-assembled system. That is entirely plausible and high-leverage way of proving out a lot of the mechanics necessary to build 3D atomically precise structures. And I would try and set the effector chemistry so that you're building out of the same materials that your 3D printer is made of, so that you plausibly have a route to nanomachines that build nanomachines. Any questions? Or I can set this in the context of everything else we talked about. All right, context it is. For my institute, this is one of the plausible pathways forward. When I said that we could do this with multiple FROs, there are other pathways we could take forward that would plausibly get better integration or would plausibly solve problems by integrating techniques from across different disciplines. I was particularly interested in the protocol networks efforts to handle better attribution, more effective coordination. Everything everybody's doing here ties into what we want to do. We need to work together as effectively as possible, and there's all the coordination components there. The roadmap should have immutable attribution on all the components. If we can get the impact funding from this to retroactively pass down the entire dependency tree, that builds the community much faster. This has been a great weekend. I want to thank everybody for your amazing contributions.